Hi.
Welcome to Scripts and Giggles with Shoshana
and Marnie. We're back.
Woo! It's been a while. It will be a while by the time this comes out.
Got grey hair now.
Yeah.
It's been so long.
Yeah, because, life has been lifing.
Do you know what I thought was quite funny?
What?
We were both complaining about work earlier. We're both wearing work merch right now.
I didn't want to talk about that, the irony of it all, but really, we're repping work.
We're like, we
to
hate
death.
our jobs while we are actively promoting our jobs.
And you will never see it.
No, and that's a good thing because I
Yeah.
do not endorse this workplace right now.
I mean, I endorse mine, but it's just not this time of year. It's happened the same time last year as well. I was absolute in agony. I was in agony, but now I'm in absolute agony.
That's like the clip of Kat where she's like, I didn't just become a slag, I became a total slag. Some of her lines are just like so important to the English language as we know it.
Oh my god, honestly, I just don't know. It's been a lot.
I need to find out who wrote that episode of EastEnders
EastEnders.
where she says, "You're not my mother, yes I am."
That is iconic.
Because I bet it'll be someone really big like Sarah Phelps.
No, I think it's gonna be one of the runners, like a junior writer. It's like, what happens when she reveals like, you're not my mother? Like, how can she do it? And everyone's giving them the smartest ideas possible. And then someone was like, what if she just says, you're not my mother? And
Like you do to your sister, and then she turns around and says, yes I am.
And that's it.
I'm trying to even imagine, like, if I talk to my sister, well, it doesn't work because I'm older than her.
Yeah.
But if my sister was like, you're not my mother, and I was like, yes, I am, she would continue with her life. She wouldn't even take that
It's so
seriously.
true. That's the thing, because, yeah, if
She really was like,
she was so shocked.
You
like,
are?
You are my mother?
I'd be like,
But
shut up.
Unless she had this...
What the hell?
Unless she had the curious, like, feeling like, oh, I've always known.
But you're always trying to mother me.
I mean, yeah, I don't understand why you're always controlling me. And we look so
Your
alike.
name's on my birth certificate. It's very weird.
We had the exact same birthmarks in the exact same places. So I know that you...
I've always thought that was weird, and now maybe you're my mum.
Well, that's what happened with Kerry Washington, where she felt like...
She always felt like she didn't
belong.
That's really
and then she found out that her... basically, her dad is a sperm donor. And the dad that she grew up with is not her biological father. So...
That just made me think of that iconic scene where Phaedra's like talking to, is it Kenya about?
Oh, it's from Real Housewives of Atlanta.
When you're spending your weekends.
Oh my gosh, that lie! I mean, the thing is, the read is so long.
You don't know if Charles Barber is a paedophile or no, is a murderer or a child molester.
But
what
all you know
is he needed $20 to buy himself a pizza.
So he went to go and
ejaculate.
Yeah, he had to go and ejaculate in the cup so that he could be able to buy a pizza.
So check that.
I mean, it was such a long read, but it's still iconic.
It is very well done. It's as good as. Basically, I'd like to let Gemma know that she's a fat. I won't say it.
Yeah.
I won't say it for the children listening at home.
Yeah.
And those shoes that she bought were old maiden type of shoes.
Oh my god.
It's just. I don't know if I've ever been so annoyed at someone that I've monologued my insult towards them.
No, I mean, wait, I have my sister, and I went to town, and because she was like, tell me how you really feel, and I was like, oh, I will tell you how I feel. And the worst thing is I can't remember what I said. I was that angry.
You're like, it was good.
It was good because she was pissed off afterwards.
I don't think I've ever monologued a response to anything. I don't think I am the most articulate when I'm angry.
Same.
I will tell you about yourself though. In a way that's like, I don't know if I'm coming back from this.
Yeah, that's the thing. I've over the years I've tried my hardest to hold my tongue, and that is painful, because I'm like, if I say what I really feel, I can't turn back.
I was once mildly annoyed at someone, and they were like, we hang out again, and I was like, nobody thinks about you.
It reminds me of Kardashians when Kim says to Kourtney,
if you had a business,
your face is so uninteresting or something like that. She said something like that. Yeah, what did she say? It was mean. Like that. It was quite mean. Let me just see.
I mean, my favourite line from the Kardashians is, people are dying, Kim.
Oh my god, what does Kim tell Kourtney? It was like so harsh. Courtney insult. But yeah, I think is
that when they had their fight?
It was just before they had that fight. You're the least interesting sister, I think she said.
Yeah, no, that is
yeah,
it's quite dark.
Yeah. And it's like, if you actually had a business of your own, you understand how it is to make money and why it's so important. Because Courtney will always criticize
I raise my children, that's what I do.
Yeah, exactly. Courtney will always criticize Kim for taking on other commitments. But yeah, I think if I was really willing to end a friendship, that's when the shade that I've been bubbling and waiting to say will come out.
Yeah.
And I would have to understand that's the end. It's the end. I've never had to be at that point.
Neither have I. Me and my sister have only ever had like a physical altercation once, and I remember just being so drained and tired that like I think I was just like, you're horrid or something like that. Like there was nothing articulate about what I was saying. I just had this was
I don't swear in front of her.
Cow. You cow? That's the worst thing I've ever heard you call someone.
I'll call someone a cow. But I don't really like swear about people, well, to their face.
When Lily threw, she's like, you fucking slag, you bitch. She's a total bitch. I did that, like, when you are going to swear, you will, like, whisper it.
Yeah, because, like, God won't hear me if I say that.
She's a bitch. Just say it.
But she really is, I'm joking. But yeah, I don't know. I cannot remember why we got to this point. But, it's been an absolute busy, tiring, painful period.
Honestly.
From a work perspective. And so
balding at this point, I'm sure.
Yeah. We're just waiting for Christmas.
My wig is balding for sure. I've been yanking at this wig. It's balding.
I've been yanking.
This part has gone from a part to a full bald spot. This wig is tired. She can't wait for the Christmas as well.
Honestly.
Because that's when she gets retired. She's like, please put me out of my misery. I don't want to be here anymore.
Oh my gosh. But yeah. Speaking of Christmas and this time of year, we have the Spotify Wrapped.
Yeah.
What did you get on yours?
I didn't do my Spotify Wrapped because I don't use Spotify. I use Apple Music.
What does Apple Music do?
The same thing.
Okay, what does Apple Music say? And also, is it as interesting?
It's literally the same.
Oh, wow. Originality, let's just say.
Number one was Beyonce, of course.
I think so.
I had a real mix.
The most annoying things I said, I should have told you, we're going to chat about something and you should have your phone ready.
Yeah. So, should I go first?
You go first and I'll tell you mine as well.
Right, my top artist was Beyonce.
Okay.
594 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Which weirdly doesn't feel like a lot.
Let me see mine.
Because my total minutes of music was like quite high.
Well, how many minutes did you have?
225,000 minutes.
Oh, yours. Okay, your one's a lot more because I had 13,000.
I listen to it. My music is. I listen to music all the time, even when it's inappropriate to listen to music.
No,
I listen to music.
So I had 13,000. Beyonce was my top as well, but I think they said that I was in the top 2% of listeners.
That's
Beyonce,
nice.
which is actually quite crazy.
So my top 5 was Beyonce, Tame Impala, the London Philharmonic Orchestra.
What?
Which I'm quite surprised by.
That's very impressive.
David Parry, who is also a classical musician, and Kalela. I don't count those because I have a playlist that I listen to that's just like classical music thing, and those are just the songs on there. So they're just being like, you've listened to your classical music a lot.
Yeah.
So they're counting them as an artist, but like.
That's what happened to me about 3 or 4 years ago when I was doing my masters. I had this like slow jazz playlist that I created so I can listen to it while I'm studying. And so when I did my Wrapped, it was just all these like jazz artists that I've never heard of. And I was like, okay, but I didn't connect with it. It was just nice like background lo-fi music.
My next 5, because I don't count that, is, well, I'm not counting those 2, is Little Dragon, Lana Del Rey.
Okay.
I keep saying their name wrong. I'm not going to say it. Khruangbin. Anyway, I love them. I should learn how to say their name properly. James Blake and Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
I told my sister about it. And she was like, "Yeah, you have a really eclectic taste in music, which is good." And I was like, "Good,
fantastic." It's really like Kendrick Lamar all the way to the London. I know you're not.
Yeah, literally no. Yeah.
But I only had my top 5.
Gone.
And it's quite standard. Number 1 was Beyonce.
Yeah.
Beyonce. Number 2 was Stormzy. 3 was Disclosure. 4 was Boney M. And 5...
How often are you listening to Boney M?
Actually, on this, okay. 5 was Harry Styles. Boney M is because I really got into some of the songs when I was watching Black Mirror, and so I got into some of Boney M songs, and like there's songs that have just been remastered now. I mean, apart from the most famous, well, the one I listened to the most was the Rasputin one.
And the Rasputin's boy child, Jesus Christ, was born on Christmas Day.
That's a great Christmas song.
Yeah, it is.
And then also they do Daddy Cool. Daddy Cool. So I
listen to those 3 songs over and over.
I think I listened to a couple more in the album, but those were the main
ones.
When I say my top songs, Rasputin was on there in the top 5.
Wow,
so
you were really feeling that.
I really was, yeah. I had a whole little like non-stop listen, and my peak listening month for that artist was in May when Black Mirror came out.
My top 5 songs are not credited to any of my top 5 artists. It's quite interesting. Okay, Number 1 was Unlock It by Abra and Boys Noise. Number 2 is Big Mouth by Ruby Rose. Number 3 was Happy Ending by Kalela. Oh yeah, she's in my top 5, so yeah. Number 4, A&W by Lana Del Rey, and number 5 was BMO by Ari Lennox.
I'll be honest, I have no apart from Ari Lennox and Lana Del Rey. Lana Del Rey. I don't know any of the people you just mentioned. Also, what type of music do they sing?
I would play it for you, but we are literally recording.
Yeah,
Maybe afterwards.
Maybe after, okay.
But they're all women.
That's nice.
Yeah, I'm really not feeling dudes at the moment.
No. Actually, that's ironic because 3 out of my 5 top artists were men.
That's so... literally, the next man on here is number 13.
Who's that?
Todd Rundgren. With a song from he's like a 70s artist.
Wow, okay.
And then Troy Boy, who makes like electronic music. Jamie XX, which is from he was in the band The XX, but he is like a DJ.
Okay.
And he makes music separate from them. They're my top 3 boys.
Yeah.
Even the next page, Nicki Minaj, Kalela again. Oh, okay, Mickey Blanco. Yeah. All of them are women.
That's so interesting. Yeah.
What's your top genres?
My top one was pop.
My top genres, because they didn't say which ones are specific. They just said electronic, alternative, pop, hip hop, and dance.
Wow. I was gonna say a lot of your music tastes do sit in that world. Let me just see if I can get my genres up.
Because I listen to all of my moods involve being wanting to dance or wanting to be sad, and that is
the extremes.
Yeah, those are my extremes. Do you know what I did yesterday?
What did you do?
Speaking of music, so Girls Aloud are doing a reunion call.
I know. Don't tell me you're gonna go.
No.
But
yesterday I thought, let me see what like Girls Aloud songs there are. And the amount of songs that I know word for word, I was like, oh, am I actually a stan? What the hell?
I think it's because...
Some of those songs are bops, though.
They were good. I mean, and I remember, like...
Like, I listened to Something Kind of Ooh, and I was like, this,
yeah, Something Kind of Ooh,
jumping on my tutu. Like,
and the dance as well, where they're like, leg up, do.
Like, it is... I think, do you know what? And that's what I was thinking about on my walk when I was listening to this. Girls Aloud were big when music videos were big.
Oh, yeah, true.
And so, back then, I would listen to MTV Pop, Hits, Bass, whatever. And I'm flicking through these channels. I'm seeing the videos for these songs. So, like, it's both the video and the song that is in my head. Yeah. It's not just the song.
Yeah.
Like, they have a song called Biology, and I can see the video in my head just when I hear the song. Yeah. And it's like, no, that's Love Machine.
Oh.
We just literally sang 2 songs.
In my head is... Wait, what's Biology? Oh, dun, 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 dun. In my head, I think I know what you're song.
What are you talking about?
Biology song.
No, I think you're singing, I don't need no good advice.
No. The song I'm thinking of.
Why don't you call me? That's Biology.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking of.
But also, can I just say, for some reason, at that time, McDonald's were making Happy Meals toys of songs, but like remixes of those songs.
Yeah.
And that was one of them.
Why?
That was one of them. And the other one was My Humps.
Why?
And I, for ages, would search for that version because it was so good. The remix version of My Humps, I found it and I was really happy. Anyway, short story.
Yeah.
I'm really thinking about the music that
you grew up with versus the one you enjoy now.
No, I think honestly, say what you will about Girls Aloud, they don't make pop music like this anymore.
No.
Every single one of those songs, I was like, this is genuinely a banger and a pop, very specifically a pop banger.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like now genre lines have blurred, and so the songs that are popular probably could cross over and be called electronic or dance or something
100%.
else. And I think that's also a good thing if you like didn't listen to dance music and now you do because like I don't know, Dua Lipa got you into it.
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing. But it's just so interesting to hear those songs because they're like the beats, the way they sing, everything about is so specific to like
100%.
being poppy and easy to like digest and I don't know.
I think
I would go see them for free.
Yeah. I'll be honest.
If you guys want to send me tickets, I would absolutely come.
I think I would go. Gosh, yeah, I would probably go. As long as I'm not paying, but you're right. I think it'll be a fun time. The same way. I think last month there were S Club reunion tickets at my church, and well, not at my church, but my church. Some people at my church were going, and they were like, "Who wants to go and see S Club?" And I was like, "I would go because S Club."
I know all their songs.
I know a lot of their songs, and it was part of me growing up. And
Tina's
really
doing her thing.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was stuck in my head.
Yeah, I came.
Just
it was Don't Stop Moving was one of my favourites. But yeah, I mean, Girls Aloud, they were cool. They were alright.
Mine was, you are all I need to get me through now, baby.
Oh, I think I love
like
that
a
song.
falling star,
Yeah.
I fell for you.
Yeah.
I fell for you.
Oh my gosh.
An angel sent from high above. Oh, me and my cousin had their albums.
Oh my god, I didn't know you were that much of a fan.
Knew the lyrics down.
I mean,
Sunshine album. Yeah, mummy buy it for me.
I do. I mean,
and my mum would actually buy it because it's like they make kids music.
Yeah, exactly.
So like me asking her to be Outcast, she was like, I don't think this is for you, girly.
No.
But this one, yeah.
Yeah. No, I think no, we don't have this type of song anymore. And also, I do miss the days of like MTV Hits, MTV Bass. Like
I miss music videos.
Look, that's how I was able to discover new artists. I mean, I know growing up, I used to annoy Marnie, but I loved Maroon 5. I discovered them when I was flicking through the channels.
Of course, because that video was on constantly.
This Love, and that's how I was like, oh my goodness, who are these guys? And then who's the lead? He's really hot. Cancelled now, but
cancelled now. Sadly,
but he was like, this guy's really hot, and I love this music, and it's so different from like the R&B and you know the rap that I love. Like this is a white artist that I can get down with.
Because he was singing.
He was singing. And
it was
cute.
like Robin Thicke. I remember when I had Robin. I said, "This is a black man."
Lost Without You.
Saw the video. I said, "That's a what?"
Huh? Lost
Download.
LimeWire. Lost Without You. Honestly,
she will tell me every morning. I was like, that is a man.
And then you had Paula Patton, or the wife, in the music video. I was like, wow, this is beautiful. This is really beautiful.
Wanna love you, girl. Wanna love you, girl. Wanna love you, girl. Wanna love you.
I mean, honestly, when Robin Thicke was in his prime, he was in his prime.
It slapped. Teach a lesson.
You should have stayed away from Miley Cyrus because that was a mess. When my top genres were pop, Afrobeat, soul, rap, and hip hop. I mean, hip hop. I didn't know that was a thing. Thanks, Spotify.
What counts as hip hop?
Hip hop. I don't know. It's not telling me. Well, my top song was "Weekend"
Miley
by
Cyrus. We Can't Stop.
No. Oh my god! Actually,
that is hip hop.
That is hip hop. Yeah.
I love that song.
That is so hip hop.
That's her best song. I don't care.
No,
People like Wrecking Ball. No,
that was a.
It's We Can't Stop. And we
there
won't
was another
stop.
song. Wrecking Ball was good. There was another song that she did that she. No, she did a couple afterwards. The one that she did with Mark Ronson I really liked. Broken Heart. Nothing breaks like a heart.
I don't know how that song went out.
It's a nice song.
I like the one she did with will.i.am.
And
I'll be in the club.
In my head, I can just imagine. I'm just imagining her in the video where she's basically wearing a full brief
And she was like, something
you can
like just to make that booty twerk. And I was like, watching it, I saw the video again recently. I said, what
booty
was going on in 2013?
It was wild.
That we're letting this little girl be like, make that what booty twerk?
It was wild, honestly wild. My top song.
We need to examine that.
Yeah, my top song is The Weeknd by Stormzy and Ray, which I think is hip hop in a sense.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's where the hip hop comes from. What was the other things like?
Beyonce on that damn horse. We'll never get.
Beyonce's been at my top last year and this year. It's constantly.
Last year listened to 44,000 minutes of music, and Beyonce was half of that.
Yeah, it was too much. Stormzy was on from last year.
Would you go and see Stormzy? I mean, it feels like you're a big fan of Stormzy. Would you go and see him?
Probably, yeah. I mean, but I don't think I know. It's like I know his main songs, but I don't know actually, no, that's a lie. I do listen to. Like I think I'm a Stormzy fan. Disclosure, I think, is over here from last year because I think from when we saw them live, I think I just fell in love again with them.
They dropped a new album, which I
haven't
listened to which is quite fun.
It's good.
I like it.
Yeah, Boney M, because I mentioned before, Black Mirror got me into it. Harry Styles again from last year. It's basically the same old. My other top songs were The Weeknd from Stormzy, Watch Your Step by Disclosure, which I think is what's taking it up. It was a duet with Khalees. Mm-hmm. But it's just a really nice, like, soft song that I listen to when I'm walking. Watch Your Step, when you're walking. Rasputin from EM. I go Zumba, and there's a song that I play constantly. It's called Mama Wanna Mambo, which is in there from Zumba, and an Energy from a song that I did not think Beyond.
That song is incredible. It's got crack in it.
The thing is, I didn't like it initially, and it's warmed on me, and I think it's because of the tour. The tour made me like the song.
That I told you.
Is that where Mute is? No, that's not Mute.
Yeah.
That's
Big energy.
Yeah, I think that's what's made me like the song.
I'm telling you.
That and America's Got a Problem made me like the song.
The remix with the Kendrick Lamar one.
Yeah, I prefer that one, yeah.
I will never forget listening to that album. I was at my desk playing a computer game, and it got to Energy, and I said, hold on a second.
Energy.
Pause this whole thing right now.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happened, but the album has started for me.
No,
Up until then, the album had not started for me. At that song, I said, it's unlocked. I need to pause this.
I listen to it.
I need to sit back and relax. And then after that, I was just on a roller coaster.
And she's been obsessed ever
towards
since.
the club.
But I think for me, so I'm definitely a late adopter when it comes to this album.
Yeah, you hated the album.
I didn't like the album when it first came out. I'm a purist Beyonce fan.
You're a hater.
I'm not a hater, purist Beyonce fan. And I didn't love the album, and the tour made me love the album because I think it was performed so incredibly well. I cannot wait to watch the
I feel like
the film.
Maybe the reason why, some people, I won't say you, but some people didn't like the albums because they lack imagination.
Don't you dare say that, because I know you're not targeted to me. Okay, I'll let you finish.
Because remember, when we talked about this, I said, I've got a whole visual album for this in my head already. Right? But both of us had said, she needs to drop the visuals, because...
She never did.
The visuals, for some people, were like, if you have no knowledge of house music, if you have no knowledge of like ballroom, these songs are going to feel so alien to you. And like you said, they're not pure Beyonce.
No.
So I think there are probably people who couldn't access the album until they saw the concert and were like, oh, this is how you're supposed to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Personally, for me, like, there are a lot, obviously I know lots of Beyonce songs. Some of them stick with me, like, but I don't think I've ever listened to a Beyonce album back to back. That was the first time I'd ever done that.
I think I have,
and it just happened to be the exact album that's like, all the cross-sections of my knowledge have come together to make the most perfect album for me. But maybe there is also a chance that another one of our friends, Caroline, listened to it because I was raving about this album.
Oh,
and
she
was
did.
Like, I don't like it the first time. I don't like it. And I was like, I get it, because it really just depends on the space or the, like, whether it's managed to pull you into the world of what it's making. And I've listened to countless albums before, and like Andre 3000 just dropped a flute album.
Oh, I heard about that.
And I'm not in a flute place yet. But when I am, I'm sure it's going to be incredible.
Because there's no vocals, it's just flute.
No, it's just flute.
I'll be honest, I'm good. That is something like my slow jam music.
That's going to be my dinner, making cooking.
Yeah, when I'm studying. Yeah.
But yeah, there's been times I've listened to an album and be like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
Like, I remember someone was like, you need to listen to Lil Yachty's album. And I listened to it and I was like, yeah, not for me.
No.
Or Drake's House album. I was like, Drake, this is not it. Like, I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry. After Beyonce dropped her album, you should have waited.
But also, I think the difference between Beyonce's album and Drake's album is like, Beyonce's album feels like an experience. It feels like a complete feels like a movie almost.
Yeah.
Like there's a beginning, and a middle, and end. Drake's album is just songs that happen to be house in vague. Yeah, and it's not good. Sorry.
No.
And
I think it's not just I mean,
I think that's why people liked Taylor Swift. Like, if I was ever in a Taylor Swift mood, I would probably get into her. But for me personally, like, whenever I've heard like one song or two songs, like just a song by itself of hers, like, I'm not inspired to go listen to the album.
Same.
That's the problem. Maybe if I had started earlier, I could be going on this era's tour with everyone and being like, wow, the art is incredible. But like, at this point in my life, I'm not about to become a Taylor Swift fan.
No, I've never been a Taylor Swift fan. I have like a few of the songs, but it's just never been like, it's never been like that for me. And I know she's got a massive fan base, like huge, and you know, good for the Swifties, but just not for me. Every time I see on TikTok like her fans or her performances, I'm just like, and where's the extra? Where's the lights? Where's the camera? Where's the production?
I'm happy for you guys.
Yeah, exactly. I love it.
Everybody deserves to have their version of Beyonce.
Exactly. And the thing is about Beyonce, even talking about this album, I think a lot of her live performances. I love her live. Like a lot of her live performances, I remember even more than I do the studio albums. Mm-hmm. I remember how she sang it. I sang it in the same way that she's done it live because I just remember how she's done it live. I think basically, even though I didn't like the album, I knew from the minute I saw it live that I'm gonna like it because she just has a way of spinning the songs in a live performance that makes you be like, oh, I get it now. I enjoy it because you're right. Last year, I remember when I did listen to the album, I was doing errands. And I was listening to it and I was like, what is this nonsense? The only song that I really liked was Summer Renaissance because it felt the most pop. Yeah.
It felt the most like the kind of song you listen to when you're doing errands.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas all the other ones was just like, it felt like a mismatch in my ears. But then you saw it live and saw the performances and saw it all come together and you're like, oh, that makes more sense. So I'm excited. The film has just come out and people are already starting to spoil it. So I don't want to spoil it the way that I spoil the tour. Like we didn't go to the tour.
How can they spoil the film? Or is it the backstage?
People are showing the films on. I don't want to see it.
I only just did the London premiere yesterday.
Yeah, I just want to see the whole film because I already saw a snippet where she was saying that she'd been preparing for the tour for 4 years. So like, and it's great. I want to see all of that, but I just want to see it in the cinema or better yet, when it's going to come on streaming platforms. Because I would prefer if I can see it on Netflix in my own home and then dance to the performances at home versus doing it in the cinema. But we did say we were going to go and watch it and then we'll have a few drinks so that when we do start dancing, we're not going to look like the only ones dancing. No. I think there'll be a lot of girls and guys doing it as well.
I also don't think I shared this on the podcast, but I went to a Halloween party this year and got control of the speakers and played Renaissance. There was only one other person that even acknowledged what was playing. Jesus. And we performed every single song for the 5 people in the living room against their will.
Wow.
They had to watch us. Non-stop as well.
Wow. Okay.
Didn't have time to catch her breath. Back into the next one. It was so fun.
I mean, it's impressive.
It's a great album.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, it's definitely a great album. It is. And that's why it's back on my number 1 2 years in a row. Well, Beyonce's been on my number 1 2 years in a row. And the fact that I'm a top 2% listener, that's very, very scary.
And you're not even in Club Renaissance.
I mean, I'm Club Renaissance on Spotify. I'm
you're actually on the you know the £5,000 ticket. Yeah, that's where you're at. You're not even in Club Renaissance was £200.
I do feel like some of my regrets for the year,
yeah, that's I think my only regret.
Not going was a regret. I'm so sorry. Because I was like, I'm only going to spend up to £100.
Yeah, I think that's my only regret for this year. And it's really just made me think, like, in this life, you only have yourself. Can't rely on anybody.
Because we debated.
Everyone you love will let you down.
We debated and we chatted and you were on the line trying to get tickets.
I was on the line trying to get tickets.
I was not.
I was.
Yeah.
It was hard. And a friend of mine at work who went was like to me, because he was going, it was like 2 days before he was going, he was like, we literally bought tickets a day ago. Like, they re-released the ticket. I was like, but I don't want to be in the stalls.
Yeah, same. I mean...
Like, in my head, I'm in club relations, so I'm not there at
That's
all.
the thing. You had a very high standard, whereas I was like, I'm actually happy. I could do the level 100. I actually don't mind doing the nosebleed seats because I've done it before and I had a great time at Beyonce. My sister didn't, but I did.
I wanted to touch Honey Balenciaga.
I didn't think that was going to happen. I don't think, even if you were in club relations, that would have happened.
Just reach up.
No.
I wanted Tina Knowles to push past me.
No, that would be cool.
And sadly, that did not happen.
Yeah. I mean, you saw it in person. You saw it on TikTok.
No, I just saw it on TikTok. Anyway.
But I think, I mean, even though I'm £400 lighter...
Beyonce was at the London premiere yesterday.
We should have just gone.
Yeah, we should have gone to that. We should have got tickets to that. I don't know how we would have.
I mean, it would
have been literally impossible.
Yeah, so it was so cold.
Not even that, it was so cold. What, you mean actually got tickets to the premiere?
Yeah, that would have been impossible. That's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen.
No. But,
okay, I guess my only goal in life is to become successful enough that I can get tickets to Beyonce in my own right.
Yeah, because I'm perfectly honest. If I could get
tickets through someone.
Yeah, true.
But what? At what cost?
If I was doing no expense paid, I would have paid the £200, £300, £400. But I just had a limit and I said I don't want to spend more than 100, and that would have got me nowhere. Outside listening, all those. I mean, I felt like I followed the whole tour from beginning to end, where I was watching people in Spain watching the show from the lights outside of the stadium because the stadium was so open.
Yeah,
that would have been us for those £100 tickets.
Shall we move on to pop culture?
Yeah, I think we should. So, there's been quite a few different things that happen in pop culture. Firstly, I actually want to talk about Nella Rose. So, Nella Rose, for those who don't know, is a quote-unquote YouTuber. That's what they keep on calling her on I'm a Celeb. But she's an internet personality. She's an influencer. She's been doing this for a very long time. She's 26, which you are constantly reminded of.
Baby.
Yeah, okay. And she was most recently one of the contestants on I'm a Celebrity. She still is. She
sadly is no longer.
She's still in the jungle. She's still in the jungle. I mean, she has some, like, she was unwell, so she missed a few trials, but she's still on the show. And that was very exciting when they announced Nella Rose. I mean, for some parts of the population, they're like, who? Who is she? And for other parts of the population, especially the fans, her fans, YouTube fans of the shows that she's done. Yeah, the younger people, fans of the shows that she's done. Like, she's done a lot of stuff with like Channel 4. She's done stuff with like Foot Asylum and those type of brands. I think there was an excitement that Nella Rose has kind of quote unquote made it by being in the jungle. And basically day by day and very quickly, that image has been tarnished, if I be frank, from a number of different things. One, she had a disagreement with Fred, I can't say his surname, but he's from First Dates. What do you call that guy? The guy that serves you at the beginning when you, the host. Maitre d', yeah. And she had a disagreement with him because he described himself.
No, he said, I could be your father, but earlier that day she had talked about the fact that both her parents are dead.
Yeah. I think they passed away quite recently.
Yes.
Yeah. So there was that, and then she kind of decided that she's not going to speak to him, and she was very offended by what he said, and that started this first bit of uproar of, like, you know, a lot of sympathy for Fred, like, oh, you know, he didn't mean it, it was unintentional, and Nella blew out proportion. And then another kind of discourse saying, well, she's only 26, she didn't know. And the only 26 part is annoying me, because it's like, how old are we going to keep on saying they're only X? They're only 17. They're only the.
I think that is not even the most pressing thing. I think it's very rich for people who are not either in the midst of grief or who haven't grieved recently to tell someone that they're overreacting to something. Like, we don't know how she's processed that loss.
100%.
Like, some people know what it's like to lose a parent. Not everybody knows what it's like to lose both of them.
Yeah. 100%.
So whatever she heard and processed the way she processed, no, it was through a filter of something that is like very very painful.
Yeah.
And 100%, I do not think he meant to offend her.
No, 100%.
But what we can't do is go, because I wasn't offended, me, Joe Blogs at home, she's overreacted.
Yeah. So yeah, there was that. I mean, I think the age thing was frustrating, but then I understood the grief aspects, because that is a serious thing. And when you see that perspective, you're like, okay, that may have been the basis of her reaction. But then it also created a lot of visceral towards her, a lot of insults online, and a lot of discourse also from other influencers, you know, saying that as a black creator, and bringing in race, you know, as a black creator, as a black artist, as a black celebrity, you're not given the same level of grace as your white counterparts. And I think it's been very clear with Nella.
Because Wise Moon Pig made a card with her face on.
Oh my god!
It's your birthday and I'm very offended.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
And I heard about the Boohoo one, because they mentioned Nella's name about something, and you know, people were getting up at them. So people have definitely capitalized on quote unquote Nella's downfall, or the fact that her image has been tarnished in this way. And then in the jungle, there's a couple of other things. She's had also disagreement with Nigel Farage, but I think most people will, because Fred also had a disagreement with him, saying like
trying to be friendly or make humanized. To me, that's the problem with the jungle.
Yeah.
Like from last year when they had David.
The guy
Matt
Hancock, yeah.
Like they've now realised, what we can do is get the most polarising political figures on here and humanise them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going on a show that's there to humanise people that have ruined our country.
Oh,
and Nigel Farage is the reason why we're in the fucking mess that we're in right now. And he's lucky that I'm not there, because I can't confirm or deny whether or not I would have tried to assassinate him in the night. You got a lot to answer for. And I'm trying to sit here and talk about, so how are we going to swear for you? Bruh, do you know what you've done?
Yeah. But don't worry, ITV does, and they paid him 1.5 mil. The highest they've ever paid a single celebrity.
So
crazy.
Ugly.
It is crazy.
And that's, I think, the problem with this country in a nutshell. The person will drag this thing through the mud, and then British politeness is not to say, but don't say nothing to him.
Yeah.
Don't say nothing to him, and then he'll come on the jungle, eat a kangaroo's anus, and then we're like, wow, what a good guy. And this is why we keep voting these idiots in.
Yeah.
Because you guys are moved and swayed by the dumbest shit.
Yeah. So that was that. Then she had that argument with Sam. Well, people were saying it was a disagreement or argument was Sam Thompson from Made in Chelsea fame. He has ADHD, and I think they were going to have a bush tracker trial, and Nella was just telling him to kind of calm down. And then people were like, oh, how is Nella telling him to calm down because he's got ADHD? And then in the clip that I saw, Sam was like, I don't want to disappoint Nella. It was. I mean, Sam is the epiphany of a golden Labrador doodle, whatever you want to call it. He is a puppy. But I didn't think there was any issue around Nella just telling him to calm down. However, people were getting all up in arms, and given all the issues or the visceral she's received around the Fred stuff and Nigel Farage stuff, it's just not put her in the best light. And I don't want her to get knocked out, because I would like her to have a redemption story. But that being said, I think it's a big learning to a lot of black creatives and black artists that, you know, when you go on I'm a Celebrity, you're not going to have your YouTube audience there. You're not going to have your main audience. You're in a very big environment. And I know that there have been some content creators that have come up and said, like, I would not be going on I'm a Celebrity because you just would not be protected as a black creator, particularly a black woman. So it's just been a sad state to kind of see a celebrity or a content creator who I thought was going to actually just bring some new life to I'm a Celebrity just be treated in this way. But am I surprised? No, because this is how it normally is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about what you said about redemption arc for her, and I was like, I don't think she needs a redemption arc for her. I think the problem, right, is that, like, Nella Rose, for her fans in the world that she exists in, is perfectly fine, actually.
Very true.
There's nothing that she's done on this show that her fans or her world would find incongruous with her. The problem is, of course, you're existing in your bubble, and then thinking your bubble permeates what is the reality of this country. And I think the sad thing is, as people of colour, I think sometimes we could forget that we are like what it means to be a minority in the ethnic minority, right? Is that like we make up 8% of this population.
Yeah.
We are not you're not dealing with your fans. Yeah. You're dealing with the real ass people that live in Brockley and Scunthorpe and Harlesden and all over this country who don't know who you are, who don't understand you, who don't know a single black person, no context whatsoever, and want to find a reason to vilify us.
Yeah.
Right? And all of the backlash she's receiving is unprecedented. Other people on I'm a Celebrity seasons at least make it to the end of, like, the season finishes before you become a meme. She has been lampooned constantly, and not even just by your traditional whites. She's been lampooned by her own fellow TikTokers, her own fellow whatever. And I think that's what just immediately reminds you that, like, we live in a white-centered universe.
Yeah.
It's because why is a mixed race man mocking a black woman on TikTok?
Yeah, which guy was that? That was.
I can't remember his name. I used to really like his TikToks, but after I saw that, I was just like, do you know what? And then someone was like, oh, he only hangs out with white people. And then he came out and was like, what's wrong with that? And then someone found all these pictures of him with his friends and it's only white people. And it's like, you are so much in the sunken place. Yeah. You don't even realise you're in the sunken place yet. Like, please stop talking. But, like, that person isn't... I think the problem is, again, not all skin folk are kinfolk.
Oh, 100%.
And we expect shit like that from white people because that's what they have shown us that they will do at a moment's notice. It feels so much more painful to have someone who he could have just not done nothing.
Yeah.
Like, malign you, talk in a deep voice, or make her seem like she's some sort of animal.
Yeah.
Like, why do you need to do that? If you want to make fun of me, make fun of me. But why are you making fun of me to make me seem beastly, make me seem like... You are actually upholding specifically white stereotypes about black women.
Yeah.
And I think that is, you're right. Her people should not put her on this show.
Oh, yeah.
Because this show is not about changing the face of the country and learning to accept... No. Women have won this show and we still treat women like garbage in this country. You can be a black woman and win this show and they still treat black women like garbage. This is England.
Yeah, I'll be honest. And it's... Some of the commentary has been her management did not prepare her enough for this environment, and I don't think they did.
I think she also had bought into the idea of, like, because you're, like I said, popular in a very specific circle, you start to think that circle can permeate. Yeah. That circle is the size of a pebble.
It's tiny.
In a circle that is the size of the universe.
Yeah. Because also, like...
Universe, not circle. Of the earth.
I'm making a very, broad generalisation that, a lot of her fan base is black. If we're even going on the statistics, like 8% of the population is black. And not all black people know who Nella Rose is. So you're only getting a very small percentage within that 8% of the UK population. So majority of people don't know who you are. And yes, there's some of your audience and your fan base that love the Nella Rose, that, the exaggerated, big personality, that is Nella. And I'm very glad that she's also stayed authentic to herself, because that's how she is also in the jungle. But I think she's had a very rude awakening, and I don't know if she understands the reactions of offline or out of the jungle.
I'm glad that she doesn't. Like, but when something she can deal with when she gets back. But I honestly feel like...
I kind of hope she has had some illnesses, so she's had to be taken out of the jungle for treatment. I'm hoping that there's someone there, even a black producer, that will give you a nudge, wink, wink, and just say...
They won't do that because it's good TV.
Yeah.
And also, again... What she's doing, right, is not anything to deserve the amount of vitriol she's getting.
100%.
People fall out on that show all the time. People have issues on that show all the time. It is high stakes. Yeah. These are people who are not eating, people who are not sleeping properly, bitten every day by random bugs, constantly in a state of stress. Of course, we're gonna be the least ourselves that we've ever been. I don't think anything that she's done would warrant the amount of backlash she's getting. And rather than being like, oh, someone needs to tell her to behave herself, I think we need... it sucks, but we need her as a case study. Every time this country wants to be like, we're in a post-racial... are we?
Yeah, have a look. I think about The Bachelorette, and I was thinking about this earlier this week. Rachel Lindsay was the first black Bachelorette in America on that show. And before she became the Bachelorette, she was on The Bachelor. for this like other white contestant, Nick Viall. I think we see him on some of those interviews. Yeah, he's got the podcast. But he was a bachelor at one point, and she was on that show. And they had known from the very early on that they wanted her to be the first black bachelorette. So they had almost started to position her as that. And on the show, and she mentions that she had a big disagreement with one of the other contestants, and the producers never aired it because they knew that if they aired it, she would receive such backlash that they would never be able to make her the bachelorette. And I think there's a duty of care. I'm not saying that it's on the producers, because unfortunately we live in a world where people are racist, full stop. But I think there is if we were in a nice world, there would be a duty of care for the producers to protect these contestants, especially if they see the vitriol they're receiving online. But this is the UK, this is England, this is television. Like we've talked about it when we talked about Love Island, and the fact that this is what you signed up for. Oh, okay, that was my take, was this is what you signed up for. But it's not right. And unfortunately, we live in a very simple-minded world where people just think, oh, I see this colour, I hate it. And Nella's unfortunately being the victim of that.
I mean, even what you just said, right? They did that because they wanted to use her in another season. They don't do that because they just care about black women.
That's true. That is
true. Like, it's exactly the same thing. If they thought, if Nella felt like a commodity to ITV, they would protect her.
Yeah.
Whereas what they were banking on is that they were hoping she'd just be like big and bubbly and bring a young audience.
That's what,
And now it's even better because she's causing issues in the show that's making people read articles about it and want to watch the episodes.
Yeah.
This is the game.
Yeah.
And like, it's so difficult because I was actually talking to a colleague about how I this year have found reality TV more engaging than I found drama. Like, there are not that many good dramas that have come out this year.
I agree.
But there's been like quite a few, like, whether it's a documentary or reality TV show, whatever it is, that's made me be like, play the next episode now. But at the same time, it's like, to me, feels like the most unethical of the types of TV that we have.
Yeah.
And that, you know, what am I do? Like, what can I do about that? Because if, like, I'm exactly the reason why they make the shows the way they make the shows, right? Because I'm going to keep clicking.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they can tell the most uplifting stories sometimes, you know? That's why I love Drag Race, and the reason why I love Drag Race is because I love when a girl comes in and she's like a bit unsure of herself and she's still figuring out her drag, and she gets, you know, she wins one challenge and she wins another, and then before you know it, you're like, oh my god, is she going to win this season? Like, we're watching this caterpillar turn into a butterfly. Isn't that incredible? But equally, there are people who come on there who are maligned and deliberately set up and poked and prodded to be the villains, and then we hate them, they disappear from the show, and we're like, anyway, on to the next one. But that person still has to go outside of their house, try and get bookings, try and get gigs, and no one wants to work with them because they think that they're a menace.
It's so interesting because I'm watching Squid Game, which is very, very close to my heart for many reasons, and the Squid Game, the challenge, excuse me, and I've seen online how people have shifted the villain edit, or you thought this person was the villain, but it's actually this person. And you thought this person was the villain, but it's actually this person. It's kind of sad that they're all black. But, you know,
I noticed that even when I was watching the series, I was like, interesting, 432, then that little cabal that girl's got where she's like, they're in an alliance over there, like, and then she's the head of the alliance and it feels a bit culty. Like, all of it, then the girl who sends all of it, to me, I was like, how interesting. How interesting. I don't want to assume that was deliberate in any way. Like, oh, we are deliberately going to set the black people up. Because some of those people are characters. Like, 432
Fam.
He would have done that whether you were paying him or not paying him that day. Like, he's a very particular kind of person. But, obviously, the show decides when to share what information about them. And I think it's like the episode before he goes home, or even the episode that he goes home, where he starts talking about his mum and the way he was raised, and his dad wasn't around, and it really affected how he trusts people. I was like, if you'd open with that, right, at the top of the season, we would have all made excuses for the way that he presents himself. But because you've delayed this now, I really don't like this guy. You could tell me that he got hit by a car, a dog ate his homework, every time he steps outside, he steps in a puddle, and I would still be like, fuck that guy. And even there's that moment with the mum, the mum of the other guy who like comes over and she's like, I think he's misunderstood. I think he's a sweet boy actually. I'm gonna go over and speak to him. And they have like a really sweet moment together. That was nice, yeah. And I was like, and then like deliberately, straight after that, he's like an absolute menace. So it's like, yeah, you guys know what you're doing. You can't have your villain be humanized too quickly. Yeah. Because then he's no longer a villain. Yeah. And he is a perfect villain. He's literally saying all the things you want your villain to say. Yeah, like, I'm out here for me. I give a heck about anybody else.
It's him and Lorenzo that
Also, Lorenzo wasn't a villain.
Oh my god, I forgot. You love Lorenzo. My thing is, there's a point where Lorenzo was like, I just don't really have time for people. I don't really like people. I'm not like, I don't really want to be fake. Like, I'm not a people pleaser. I'm just like, I feel like people relate to him in that way.
I loved him. I will admit, when he was like to that guy, like, me and you work out, you not so much. I was like, this is early.
Yeah, come on, man. We're in a red like green light.
He's standing right in front of me, like, I'm looking at you and I don't think that's something that you do. Is mean as hell. But he was so straightforward. And the person who cried when he left was a black woman. And I'm telling you, black women only ride or die for certain gay men. And if they ride or die for him, he's one of us. And we gotta protect Lorenzo.
When he was saying to the mum, like, what's your number? 302 or 320? I said, oh, you're just so shady, man.
It's not shady. You voted for me, I'm voting for you. What's shady about that? I don't even know why everyone was like shocked. If you're gonna vote for me,
I don't know. I just was
because I didn't want to eat an apple. Yeah, bitch, you're going home as well. This show's stupid as hell. The voting on this show, dumb as shit. I didn't want to eat your apple, so you're sending me home. And I'm sending you home because you sent me home. In fact, he was dumb. What I would have done, voted the son.
Yeah. That's so true. That's so true. You should have voted the son.
No, I didn't eat an apple and you don't have a son. Next time, leave me alone.
That would be vicious. That's something I would do.
I'm sick of those two, by the way.
I love the mum and son. I know.
When she voted him, I said, fuck that hoe. I want her out. I want her out.
I love the mum and son.
Actually, like, you two are the first people to ever be a mum and a son. Get out of here. I'm sick of it.
I think they're very endearing.
It was cute for like 2... No, I'm not gonna lie. I thought she was gonna go home and red light.
To the lie.
Because they split up the mullet guy who, honestly...
When it was like my friend that I came with has gone. Oh, so I was... Like,
I was more here for his relationship with that old man than the mum and the son.
Oh my gosh.
When they said he was going and the old man was like, oh my god, I was like, what are they gonna do? Like, that was so dark. And he's just said out he doesn't have a relationship with his dad, and so the old man obviously become a dad figure to him, and then, oh my god, I was hurt. The mum and the son are gonna be mum and son after this.
Yeah, but you just, you want to have someone that you can connect with. You want to have someone that you always will be there.
That guy who really wanted to get 432 out is me trying to get that mum.
Yeah, what happened to him? What happened to him?
Us from the phone.
You see, he's a fool. When he went back,
do you want a burger? No, I want that bitch out here. Do you want a burger? Stupid.
Oh, so perfect honest.
No, he wanted it too much. That's why
he wanted too desperate. For me, Squid Game Challenge is the mole for you. I've really enjoyed the show. I really have. It's one of my favorite reality shows for this year. Really enjoyed it.
Wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did when I watched the first episode. At the time, the episodes that were available, which was up to
Marbles.
Yeah. And baby, when they said it was Marbles and the mum and the son were like, I was like, yes! What?
I mean, they're fools if you join. If they say you to partner with someone.
We're just having a little picnic. No, I'm sorry, it was heartbreaking. Everyone being so excited, like, we're going to eat food together. So and that one guy, that Australian guy, like, no one picked him. I was like, oh, that sucks for him.
And he's like, yes! Peace out, guys!
See you guys in the next round, you dumb bitches. Like, what the hell?
Oh, that's absolutely hilarious. But I think it's genius.
That gagged me.
That was genius, yeah.
After they milked all of those oranges. Milked the oranges, you know.
Milked the oranges with those others.
They milked all them oranges just for you to be like, yeah, you set your group up. You guys are getting marbles is what you're getting. Enjoy that sandwich. Dumb bitch. Like, that game is vicious. It's even wild. Like, Jack in the Box, the way people were jumping when the Jack...
Yeah. I know, it's actually quite scary. I was like, okay, what's going to come out?
Or when is it gonna?
Yeah, when it's gonna come out? Yeah. I think it's just genius, honestly.
When that girl booted out the guy who had the immunity, I said, "That's fuck.
Wait, which one? Wait.
You know, he done the Jack in the Box and they were like, you've got immunity for the next challenge.
Yeah.
And then the last girl, they were like, you need to vote out 3 people. He's like, well, number 1 is the guy who got the immunity. I said,
oh! To me, she played it well. I mean...
I would have kept the immunity guy. I know that's bad.
Why?
Now nobody gets it.
But the thing is, I want him out because he was
shocked. He was like
he was celebrating because like I just got my immunity.
He just seen if he could have moved the immunity against the vote.
I'm immune to this.
I
want to move to this.
That's what I said. I'm going to use my immunity now. I will
yeah,
not
it's true. It's true.
What's the point of the immunity? They didn't really let him walk out with that.
Yeah, I was going to say
didn't count nothing.
That immunity put a target on his back. Please don't. To be perfectly honest, if I wanted to win Squid Game, I would be as quiet as a mouse. But most of the
But that's
most
what
of
the mullet
games,
guy thought he was doing. He said nobody thinks about me, no one. And they said mullet guy out.
Yeah,
out.
but no. The minute they saw mullet guy and the Rick, the old guy, they're like, "You guys, you have to go." I'm so sorry, you both have to go.
Isn't it crazy as well? Because there's obviously that happens in the actual series. Like,
It does, yeah.
I was like, have these two just gone, we're going to be these characters in the
Honestly.
series? Or do they actually like each other? Because it's so, like...
Serendipitous.
Yeah, so serendipitous that they're just like, man, I really like you.
But
yeah,
I do think it's just the characters as well. Like, look, I think for the old guy, he was one of few. Like, there wasn't many older people that got all the way through past red light.
That old mom.
Apart from the mom. So, if anything, I think there's something endearing about him. And like you said, the mullet guy wants the father figure.
A reason why I think it's a good thing that I didn't grow up in America, because I really do feel like I would just have married the most white trash person you could. I was like, this mullet guy and the mustache is doing it for me.
Wait, is it the guy with the mustache, the one that got immunity from marbles?
Mm-mm.
Or mullet guy?
But that guy, he's Australian, so it's a wrap.
Mullet
guy, Rick's mullet guy. I was like, he's kind of hot.
No, you said that. I was like, I don't see it. Do you know who was attractive?
He's like a sweetheart.
The only thing that I found attractive about him was when he was saying, "Oh, I came from broke money," and I was like, "Where did I really relate to this?"
That's what I'm saying.
It was funny. He was like, a lot of people are here from new money. I came from broke money. I was like, yeah.
He said there was 8 of us in a train. I said, yeah.
Yeah, I relate.
This is working for me. I don't know why. Like, that's so weird.
I relate to this. There's another really hot guy. I just don't know what his name was, and I don't know what his number was. But he was tall. I think he was not American, and he was with the group with the mullet guys and the thing. I think.
No, it could be anyone.
He really could. But he was attractive.
Do you know what's also a weird faction that I'm like, this feels like a white supremacy faction, and the like Irish guy with the sort of beardy white guys.
Yeah.
That was making
weird.
me
Yeah,
like,
it was weird.
This feels like a prison gang, and I don't like the energy of this. But I do like Irish guys. Difficult.
Really?
Yeah. I could imagine, like, if I was a high school girl and 432 went to my high school, I would have had a crush on him.
Oh, 100%. 432 he's cocky.
He's literally every single mixed race boy you've ever met in your life. Rolled into one. The ultimate one.
He's got a lot of mouth.
He's doing a lot of this.
Chat.
And you're like, shut up.
Bob,
we're trying to do French now.
Then he'll keep on bringing Jesus.
Yeah, he's like, God put me here.
Absolute
I was
terror.
like, I'm conflicted because you are speaking like a demon and you keep saying God put you here. And I don't know which side of the coin I really feel to be. He really had me conflicted. Because for real, I was like, the way you're behaving is demonic.
No, I knew that he was a child. Like, there was something very young about him.
Yeah, when he said he dropped out of uni, I was like, oh.
That makes sense. It's like, there's something just like juvenile about him.
When he was like, let's do press ups.
Like,
okay, you're a fucking baby.
So yeah, we'll see who wins. We'll see.
What about the guy who was vomiting? You didn't have a crush on him?
It's not for me. Not for me. I'm so sorry, but you know.
That was iconic.
I did not know that man, but that was disgusting.
That was iconic.
It was iconic. What, my lord. Poor dude.
No, he was going through it.
Honestly, I've never seen someone have a mental breakdown that hard. When the cookie broke and he was just lying on the ground, I said, someone help him.
Doubled over.
Someone help this guy.
What is the protocol here? Because he seems ill. Actually ill. Yeah. So if he's not okay, I'm sure we're not just going to leave him. And also, people were saying that he did throw up.
Look at the tin.
I didn't look in the tin.
Because when he was touching that tin, it was filled with stuff. It was like water.
It was licking out as well.
That was the saliva. There's not enough saliva in the world that would go. That when he was, I'm telling you, the tin was filled with liquid. You know what? We should do a review of it after it finishes.
Squid Game. Yeah, let's do it.
We do that. Or we just wrap it up in our top shows of the year. Or worst shows of the year. Maybe we should do a bit of both, because...
No, please, there's too many bad shows this year. I don't want to remember them.
went through a real, series of bad reviews.
This year, I feel like doing the podcast has really put it in clearer perspective for me, because I, as I've probably mentioned on the podcast before, at work we watch a first episode every week.
Yeah.
And so often that can feel like, oh, there's lots of good shows out there because you've watched the first episode and you give it a 7 out of 10. But because we watch stuff to the end, you're like, God, this is awful.
Terrible. I think I'm my worst show already. But it's quite obvious what it is.
What is it?
I'm not telling you. We'll do it later. We'll do it. I'm not telling you. We'll do it later. We'll do it in our wrap up of the year, episode.
This time last year.
This time we were so excited.
Our worst show was probably not even that bad.
It was what was the show? I was gonna say Hook. No, it was on Apple TV. The comedy for me.
Shrunk.
No, the one with
Loot.
Excuse me, yeah. It was
that wasn't even that bad.
It wasn't that bad. When you really compare it to this year,
it wasn't that
nothing.
Bad. Did we watch that Kerry Washington thing this year? Or was it last year?
Oh, I think it may have been this year.
Okay, that's good.
Because that was bad.
Probably going to be on my list for
that
sure.
was bad.
Not good.
But last year we were blessed with so many great shows. And actually this year we've had some really good... Well, sorry. We had one really...
We had a second season of a
really good show. Honestly, we had a second season. Oh, yeah. But yeah, I think maybe we should just move on to the review of this week.
Let's do it.
So, this week we're reviewing the 3rd season of Upload on Amazon Prime Video. And...
it's created by Greg Daniels, who worked on The Office.
Yeah.
I think it's hard to say he created it because obviously Ricky Gervais created it over here, but he ran it in the US.
Yeah, I had this debate at work about what office do you prefer, the US one or the UK one? And I'm still going to be ride or die US, okay?
No, it's not up for debate. The UK one is actually too cringy for me to watch. It makes me feel...
I thought we were going to debate about this.
No, it's not.
Because some people still
I've had this conversation before with other people.
Yeah.
It is too cringy.
No,
we've talked about this on the podcast before. I don't like Ricky Gervais.
Yeah,
I don't like. There's nothing about him that I enjoy to watch. Sorry.
Yeah.
Steve Carell is a good actor.
Yeah, he is.
That's at least he has that going for him as Michael Scott. Ricky Gervais is just Ricky Gervais.
I think when he was in the show, I didn't get Ricky Gervais as much, but I still think that the American version just blew it out the water. It's more fleshed out. It's so funny. And because the series was able to go for a bit longer, you really were able to get... you were able to really build a bond with all the other characters as well. So, I 100% prefer that. But then that being said, people loved things like Gavin and Stacey, which was cute. And over the pandemic, I did end up watching Gavin and Stacey, which is like...
Horrible.
It wasn't bad. It was cute.
I watched maybe the first episode of that the other day, and the fact that James Corden had the audacity to call Nessa, the woman who plays Nessa, fat and a monster.
The irony.
That pig.
It was his character, it wasn't him.
No, but I'm like, even that, the fact that we lived in a time where that constituted for comedy, that man calling this woman... I couldn't even stomach the rest of it. I'm so sorry. But I could see how people would enjoy it, but it is very much of its time.
Yeah, it's definitely of its time. I don't think it's massively aged well, but I did watch it in the pandemic, years later, because a lot of people at work were raving about it. But that being said, I did work, and I still do work in predominantly white spaces, and therefore, Gavin and Stacey is like our Desmonds.
No, it's not. Don't ever disrespect Desmonds in your life. I'm joking. So back to Upload. Yeah, Greg Daniels created it. And it's the simple logline is a series in which it's like an alternate universe where people have figured out how you can upload your consciousness into a online space.
Hard drive?
Yeah, after you die. So it's basically an tech afterlife.
Yeah, basically.
And we follow two characters.
Nathan,
who is one of these people living in the digital afterlife, and Nora, who works as an angel, in quotes, who is basically like your tech support in this afterlife.
And they basically connect you to the Earth, basically, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Tech support is a good reference point, actually. Yeah.
They start to get friendly. It's very much a enemies to lovers storyline between the two of them to begin with, and then they fall in love. We also find out that Nathan used to run a company, a quite successful tech company when he was alive, and potentially the reason why he's dead is because one of his competitors wanted him out. And so throughout the series there is a ongoing mystery or overarching storyline about Nathan's past business and who killed him and how that is connected to the corporation that runs what's it called again? What's the name of the place that they're in? Freon is the name of the company, I think.
I don't remember. Lakeville. Lakeview. Lakeview.
The company that runs Lakeview, and also to Nathan's girlfriend when he was alive, who's called Ingrid, whose dad happens to be
the owner.
Yeah, and a very rich, powerful tech guy.
Yeah.
So that is the overall place of the series. And when we come into series 3, there's always been an attempt at downloading people from Lakeview back into the real world. But that would only work if you had a body to come back to. And we find out that Ingrid has kept a clone of Nathan's body.
Wild.
In the hopes that they figure out the tech for downloading and she can have her boyfriend back in real life. I can't remember what happens at the end of 2, but basically he ends up being downloaded into that clone body.
Yeah, she goes,
and he is now in the real world.
Yeah.
No longer with Ingrid, finally with Nora.
Yeah.
And they can bump butts.
Yeah. But the thing is, one of the reasons why there was a lot of fear around downloading people back to Earth is because when they've tried to do it, the people have exploded in a very dramatic fashion, which basically gave people fear that if you try to download back to Earth, you would die. And one of the key signs when it happened live on TV with another, was it not clone? What do they call it? What do they call themselves?
I don't know.
Archetypes? Bodies? Anyway, what happened with a previous person who tried to download is that they first started getting nosebleeds and then they exploded.
The guy who plays that person who blows up on TV also plays Creed in The Office. So it's a little Easter egg for us Office fans.
Yeah, I can't remember who. Creed.
He's the old man in The Office.
Oh yeah, him.
Yeah.
Okay. But at the end of series 2, when Nathan's downloaded, and I think he has his moment with Nora. They maybe bump butts by that point. Anyway, he goes to the loo, and as he looks in the mirror, he starts to see blood start to pour down his nose, and then that implies that the download wasn't successful and that he may die, and that's how season 2 ends. So season 3.
I'm gonna say something.
Go on.
On this podcast, I'm gonna say something. I didn't get a chance to watch. What I like to do with series when they come back is rewatch the previous seasons, and I didn't get to do that with this.
Did you forget everything that happened?
I had no fucking clue what was going on.
Fam, same.
They were like, here's a recap. And somehow the episode started and I was like, what the hell is going on? I was so confused that like by the end of episode 1 I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish the series because I have what is happening?
Same. I usually don't have time to rewatch the season beforehand. I'm not a massive, I think I've mentioned before on the podcast, I'm not a massive rewatcher unless I'm bored and it's something like Friends. So I hadn't watched it, and because we had watched series 2 so long ago, you put me on to upload and I really loved it. And I think it was during the pandemic. I binged through series 1 and binged through season 2 very, very quickly. So it's been probably about a year since watching upload, so I have no idea what happened. I didn't even know series 3 was back until you told me, and so I was watching episode 1. I was like, I'm confused. Where are all these characters coming from? Nora looked incredibly looked so different as well.
Thick.
I know.
I said, was she always this thick?
I don't think so. But she looked different. Her hair was different. I was like...
The body was bodying.
The body, yeah. I was like, what's going on? The storyline didn't seem to make sense.
So confused.
And it continued for most of the season. And also what was worse is I couldn't concentrate. Well, I was watching it while I was doing my hair. Which usually is okay because I'm just like...
I was also doing my hair towards the end. It's a very much doing your hair show.
Exactly. The same way that Beyonce is a great... No, Renaissance is not a good Erin's show. This Erin's album.
Yeah.
This show is a good hair show. But the thing is, you actually need to know what's going on. And that problem was I was really struggling.
I agree with you. And I actually think if you were confused and I was confused, it's an issue with the show.
Yeah.
Because I think it was maybe... episode 5 that I started to be like, right, okay, I think I'm up to date now.
Yeah.
But based on, I'm up to date with what has happened in this current season. But episodes 1, 2, and maybe 3, I felt like I missed an episode.
Same.
And I was like, no, I feel like I remember the end of the last season, he's just downloaded.
Yeah.
So why does it feel like I'm catching this midway through the season, but it's episode 1?
I think it felt like they were trying to, the setup for this season was like they were trying to find something to understand more about what happened to Nathan's life.
It's about... I'm sorry.
No, I'm trying to piece it together. I actually don't know what happened.
I'm going to say it was a bad season.
I know.
And this is why. The top of the season, Freon is giving people the ability to upload for free. You find out that they're only doing that because they want, but they're not going to put these people in Lakeview. They're going to upload them and then leave them on hard drive somewhere.
Yeah.
So Nora and Nathan are trying to shut down this upload.
Yeah.
They managed to shut down the upload, but obviously some people have been uploaded onto the hard drives.
Yeah.
So then the season becomes about they're going to return these hard drives to their families. But then halfway through the season, it becomes about, oh, Nora, why don't you become a witness in this court case against Freon? Meanwhile, Nathan is here, question mark.
Well, but then also Nathan is duplicated back at Lakeview.
Yeah.
Because one of
Ingrid.
the angel, Ingrid, the angel, not Nora, thought something had happened and then re-uploaded him, duplicated him to go back to Lakeview,
which solved a problem that they had, which would have added stakes to the show, which is the longer he's not in Lakeview, the more people are going to realise that he must be back in the real world.
Yeah.
But they immediately solved that by uploading a copy of him.
Yeah.
So now nobody knows that he's not in Lakeview and he's just living in the real world rent free.
Yeah, but then he goes back to Lakeview. The real Nathan goes back to save the fake Nathan or the duplicated Nathan. I can't remember why.
No, he goes back to save his friend.
Oh yeah, save his friend. But then why couldn't duplicated Nathan do that?
Because he couldn't get into the grey area without being...
Oh.
And he also didn't know anything, so they had to go and tell him, and then he had to go into the... everything was very convoluted.
Yeah.
All of it was really convoluted, and I found myself remembering what it is about this show that doesn't work. I really like this show when it's right. And I think the issue is Greg Daniels did The Office for 9 seasons and The Office is a comedy. This works in the places where it's funny.
Anyway.
The problem is the plot is very much a dramatic plot.
Yeah.
And it feels like the comedy is conflicting with the plot.
Yeah, 100%.
And so on the episodes where it's really plot heavy, it's not fun.
No.
But in the episodes, in the episode where it's a duplicate, the real Nathan and the best friend,
that's really
it's fun.
It is funny. Yeah.
It's a little problem. It's really not a big problem. And those are the episodes I think where you're like, yes, you can enjoy this now. Enjoy it for what it is, which is this idea that you could have a digital version of yourself, a real version of yourself, and both of you think you're the real version. But literally both of you are a copy of the guy that died.
Yeah. Sorry, the guy is dead.
He's gone.
I think for me, when I was watching it, series 1 and series 2, what I really enjoyed was the dynamics between Nora and
Yeah.
Nathan, when Nora was on Earth and Nathan wasn't on Earth, and this romance. I think the romance, again, I'm a lover girl. I love the romance aspects, and I even love the romance with the friend, the black girl, and then the other Nathan's best friend in Lakeview.
They're friends.
They're friends.
They're friends.
And they will continue to call themselves friends, but we all know that there's deep down...
She has a lesbian lover in this season.
She does, but she has a soft spot for...
Yeah, you can have a soft spot for someone they're not going to get married.
Who knows? Wait on
They did kiss on the mouth, which they completely glossed over.
Well, in this season... Yes, they did.
Twice!
This is an open door for season 4 if it gets to season 4. But I like that aspect of it, like the communicate, like the
all
dynamic.
These interracial couples.
I know.
So, okay. What? Greg Daniels was like, you guys are gonna get this interracial relationship with me.
Because I've not been able to get it on The Office. I've not been able to get it on...
Get it here.
So that was what I loved about it. But... And also Nathan is so attractive.
He's actually quite gorgeous.
He's hot. How tall is he?
At the beginning of the season, I was like, Nathan's not that hot.
No,
and
he's
then
not.
I was like, looking at his eyes, I was like, he is actually quite pretty.
And the thing is, I hated it because he kept on making comments like, oh, have I put on a bit of weight?
Yeah,
I didn't. Something about it was irking me because I'm like, this guy is basically perfect.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, so the joke is, like, because we don't make fat jokes anymore.
No.
But we can make fat jokes about someone who's not fat. Like, I said, like, that makes it okay. I don't have a problem. I mean, I'm not trying to say that, I don't know. But basically, you're right. It irked me as well because it was like...
But it's because it was constant.
Why is it... I mean, I feel like this is also detrimental to tell someone who's got, like, 2% body weight that they're fat. Like, that's not... Like, that feels bad.
Yeah.
But,
He's 5'11".
Of course he is.
He's okay.
Of course he
That's
is.
a good height.
The beautiful ones are always tiny.
He's not that small. He's a good height.
Small enough to fit in your shoe.
But he's 35. Good age.
Good age.
Good age.
Good age.
Where's he from? Canada. Okay.
Obviously, you're in it for the relationship between Nora and Nathan.
Yeah.
That is what you're in it for. And in this season, they're finally together. And as with every couple, that is a will they, won't they. When they will, you're like, I don't care about this.
Sure. Again, the thing is so annoying because
it's not sexy anymore.
It's true. But it's hard because you can't drag a will they, won't they for 9 seasons. You have to get to it very quickly.
Well, they need to be doing what they do with the friend where they kissed for the first time.
Yeah, true.
And it wasn't even... it was a peck in season 3. In season 6, it could be a full-blown kiss. In season 9, heavy petting.
I'm so done. I'm so done. But, you know, I enjoyed it for what it was. When I tried to not understand the narrative or understand what was going on, I just took it for what it was, and I enjoyed it when I was watching it. That being said, it is a disappointing season in comparison to season 1 and season 2, because at least with season 1 and 2, the stakes were so high. I felt like I was at the edge of my seat with each episode because I was like, are they going to get caught? You know, is Nora going to find out? Or no, well, is Ingrid going to find out what happened to Nathan and the relationship he has with Nora? And so yeah, I liked that aspect of it. I liked the will they, won't they, giving me that context allowed me to stay engaged with the Lakeview aspect, because I'm not the biggest sci-fi fan, even though this is not the biggest sci-fi story. It's very grounded.
Yeah, it's very grounded.
But yeah, it just felt disappointing. So when I tried to forget what was going on and just like watch the show for each episode and the little mini stories it was trying to present, I just enjoyed it in that way. But yeah, it was okay.
I agree with you 100%. I think that actually I was quite surprised by how much Ingrid grew on me on this season. I think the woman who plays her is super funny. Like, I don't know what it is about her. I don't know if it's her face or her line reads. I just think that she's so funny, and she's a little bit stifled in the show because, like, Ingrid goes, like, at the end of season 2, Nathan is like, I don't want you so much. I'm disgusted that you kept my body, and I'm going to get back in my body and be with someone else. That's how much I don't want to be with you. And the first episode of this season is Ingrid trying to figure out, well, who am I if I'm not going to be Nathan's girlfriend? And then immediately they give her a Nathan.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, we're not really allowing this character to go on any sort of creative journey. Like,
but that being said,
journey.
If she's not linked to Lakeview in any way, what is her point in this story?
But the thing is, they're not even in Lakeview, so what does it matter if she's in Lakeview?
Yeah, but I don't know if I would care to know more about her life outside of Lakeview. I.e. in the sense that she's going back to her normal life, you know, doing her job, or she was cut off by her father. So her trying to figure out life, figure out money, figure out her friendships. Those parts were quite boring to me. So I feel like she has to always be connected to Nathan in some way for her role and her character to be relevant.
I wasn't bored by that stuff. I also think that, like, this is the problem with the writing. Her dad, it turns out, is the person who had Nathan killed. So she is always going to be linked to him in some way. So you could have done a story in the present where she's the one who finds that out.
That's true.
Like, where it's like, okay, she's not with Nathan anymore. She's trying to get back with her parents, but she's learning that actually Nathan is a ghost that's hanging around in this couple more than just her love for him.
Yeah.
Her dad has killed him. And that's how you bring her back into the fray. And you give her something to do. Like, I think she'd make a great Nancy Drew. Like, give her a dog. Like, she's like a dog with a bone when it comes to Nathan. So why would she not be like a dog with a bone when it comes to what happened to him? Instead, we find out in the most boring way, the old man in Lakeview dies, and then they get his memories, and then they go through it. Like, that's not more interesting. So I think a good script editor would have found a way to bring Ingrid into the story that doesn't just involve her dating Nathan again.
Yeah.
I also kind of like felt chemistry between Ingrid and the AI guy.
Yeah,
So maybe that's how you keep Ingrid in play. Is that she's like dating the AI guy, who, by the way, is Greg Daniels' son.
Really? The ginger guy?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Who's also like just. I think it's maybe just the way that character's written, but he's very adorable.
He is,
and then in this season, he's kind of like going through his like terrible twos, like trying to be a bit more annoying and like they started to start a union and stuff, and I was just like, oh, look at the little AI guys being terrible teenagers. Like the stuff, like I find that's what they try to do with the Alicia stuff, right? Like Alicia and Nora are not together in this season, but of course Alicia ends up dating someone who is in a way connected to what's going on with Nathan, and in the end Alicia ends up coming in the clutch and like saving the day. It's like if you could have done that with all of them.
It's true,
because it's only 8 episodes.
No, it was short. It was very short, and 30 minutes, which I love.
Some of those episodes are less even, I think, than 30 minutes. And there's just a lot of like, I really feel like Nora did nothing.
No, she didn't.
This season.
Because of the previous season, I felt like she had such a big story arc.
Yeah, she
wasn't
stuff.
she in like a commune or something like that?
Yeah, she had joined the Lords, who are the people who like don't use technology, basically.
Yeah.
And who were anti-technology.
Yeah.
And then she was the one who figured out that Nathan had been murdered. Like she was investigating, and in this season it just feels like, I'm like doing like from episode to episode I'm doing something, but I'm not actually doing it.
No.
Like I don't think they return a single one of those hard drives on screen.
No.
They keep start of every episode they're like, the bag's lighter.
Yeah,
they keep saying the bag's lighter.
Because every time they said the bag's lighter, I kept on assuming someone had stolen it. So I was like, oh, so
no, they were like, we've given some of these hard drives back. I was like, why won't you show us? Because I couldn't work out if that's what they wanted the story of the season to be. They're going right. They're basically going on a road trip, right? That's simple pitch. Nora and Nathan are going on a road trip across America, giving back these hard drives. But it's also their honeymoon, essentially.
Yeah.
Finally together, they're gonna keep going to all these weird towns. And meet these weird people, and they're going to go through these relationships up and downs together.
Unbeknownst to them, there are Lakeview police, or what's the name of the country? Freon police trying to look for Nathan, and then at the end of the series they arrest him. So I think the ending would have still been the same.
Yeah.
But the way you got to that ending would have made it a lot more interesting and a lot more easy to follow.
And then if you want to keep the current characters in, you make it that it's Ingrid has been cut off from her dad, has got a job as one of these Freon police officers.
Yes.
And so the person who ends up arresting him at the end is Ingrid. I don't know how we bring Luke in, because Luke has grown on me.
Who's Luke again?
His friend.
The friend. Well, the friend is trying to hide.
Double cheeked up when they for some reason are wearing. Luke gets kidnapped by this guy, and the guy makes him wear this like gladiator costume, and then Nathan and the other Nathan come to rescue
Oh,
him.
yeah, him. Yeah.
But every time he turned around, I was like, oh, that's cheeks. They really said you will be seeing
you will be
cheeks
good.
on the show.
I was working on the show and
thank God.
And I was looking at the photography and the actor, he had his butt was so beautiful. I don't know what I literally was
names.
I'll find out what his name is. And I was like, oh my God, look at his body. Like, look at the side profile. Is it just me? And it was like a curvature. It was curved. I was like, it can't just be my eyes. Then I kept on looking at the photos. I was like, no, this the photographer. There's someone out there that really wanted me to see this. I need to go and watch that scene again because I can't remember the cheeks.
Twice.
I need to go and see it again.
Around twice. I said they really want us to see
this.
The cheeks.
But I think with Luke, it would have been with
and
Nathan.
it's like kind of thick.
Wait, who would you go for, Luke or Nathan?
It's so difficult.
I'm 100% Nathan. Sorry.
I think Nathan is. Are we talking about their characters? Or are we talking about them just physically?
Both. One. No. Okay. First round. Physically. Nathan.
I think
just
Luke.
Be for real.
Like Nathan doesn't have an arse, you know that.
I don't need him to have an arse. He has a great body with his 2% body fat. 2% body fat.
He's pretty. He's definitely prettier than Luke. I'm not.
He is 100%. But I'm not looking at his butt first. I'm looking at his face.
I'm gonna see that ass walk away.
What about the character? Nathan.
Luke is like a puppy.
Nathan's more grown up and mature.
Yeah, Nathan also dated Ingrid, so.
Yeah, but
mature where. Can't count for taste. Whereas,
oh my God, he went for Nora. He went for Nora.
At least Luke has shown us that he's here for black women.
So is Nathan. What is he here? So?
Yeah.
In America, she's
you
black.
getting back in that line. You're getting back in that line.
In America, she black.
On the bus, she's up front. You're at the back.
All I'm gonna say is they're both down for black women, so I'm down for this show.
I'm down for this show. Greg Daniels will have to explain what's going on with that for him.
Yeah.
But I'm glad for it. It's fun.
Yeah. How would you rate the show? How would you rate this season versus the show?
Literally a 5.
Out of 5?
No, out of 10.
Okay, so 2.5.
Like smack in the middle. I watched it.
It was like,
there were moments that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
I really think that Ingrid, she's given some of the greatest performances you can give in a show that's mediocre. But I ultimately think the problem is the tone of this show, even after 3 seasons, cannot figure out how to do what it's doing.
I felt like season 1 and season 2, I think it got it right. I think they positioned it right. I think it felt clear. This is the only season where I felt
flip-floppy.
Yeah,
it
was very thin. The storyline was thin. It wasn't developed well. And I for such a short season, you kind of needed to make the story more contained.
They kept setting up story and resolving it within the episode.
Yeah. So
what was the point of that?
So there's nothing to keep me going. I think in terms of getting a show for Do My Hair, it was great, but in terms of a show that I was really, really excited to see the return of. Maybe in this instance I should maybe they needed to do a bit more setup of what happened in series 2, even with the little cold open they had. I don't know. I would have given it 3 because it's nice to see Nathan.
That's exactly why people spend years of their lives making a TV show, so you can see one man. That's nice.
That's what they hire the hot guys.
Yeah, I mean, I always say that. If we're gonna make a show, just make sure everyone's hot.
I mean, perfectly honest, it's true. I get those notes a lot when I do my creatives. Make sure they're attractive. Make sure they're attractive. Make sure they're attractive.
How can I make someone who's not attractive? They really exist.
That's what's surprising. Can they look a bit more smiley? The show is about death.
What do you want them to be smiling about?
Be for real. But yeah, that is Upload.
Yep.
We've downloaded
our
thoughts, and it's time for us to re-upload a new show for next week.
Okay.
Actually, what are we doing for next? Maybe we should just do the roundup for the year.
What do you mean roundup for the year? The year's not even nearly over yet.
Yeah, but
let's do it.
But perfectly honest, by the time this comes out, I haven't yet finished.
Let's do the roundup. Let's do it.
Because
we're talking about our favourite shows of the year.
Actually, we're gonna do Squid Game challenge.
Okay, let's do Squid Game.
Okay.
And then
So,
we'll do our roundup.
For next week, we are going to review Squid Game The Challenge. We talked about it briefly during Pop Culture News. It's highly debatable on our favourite players. But we are going to watch the finale and come back and share our thoughts. And Squid Game The Challenge is based off the highly successful Squid Game that was on Netflix a few years ago. And this is the reality version of it. So we're going to see who wins. And then we'll do the roundup of the year.
Yeah.
Because we're pretty much getting to the end of the year now. Everyone is... I saw the joke on TikTok where it said EOD, which usually is end of day, is now going to mean end of December.
You're not even going to get it at the end of December. Let's not lie. You get it in Jan.
Look, I'm really waiting for someone to be like, can we move this to the new year? And actually, I think I need to start doing that soon.
I have a meeting next week, and I literally called the other person who was in a meeting with me today, and I said, "You sure you can't do this in Jan?" Anything from this point on is being set for Jan.
Actually, crap. Even yesterday in the meeting, I was like, do you think that we can just give them the brief? We can give them the brief this side of the year, but I can see stuff next year?
Yeah, I don't want to do anything else this year.
I don't have the mental capacity to be looking at stuff.
I really don't.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I'm spent.
Yeah.
I don't even... I think even the worst thing is trying to have strategy conversations. Like, I don't know or care.
That is my job. And I'm like, I have to think.
So what do you think we should do? Honestly, just fire me. That's what I think you should do. I want to be free. Give me a severance package and let me go about my life. I'm seeing girls I went to school with, married with kids, and I'm sitting here having stupid conversations.
Yeah, did you see that? I know you're talking about.
Let me live. Let me live. Not to say I would get married with kids. I would be on a beach somewhere.
I'd be shaking my ass in Dubai.
Literally on a yacht.
Thank you.
In a thong.
Yeah. Thanks, Nella Rose. You see?
Iconic.
Yeah, it is iconic lines.
Listen.
And she can come back with more iconic moments.
She's going to be fine.
I think she
because her current audience is not the audience that are vilifying her. She's going to come back and be okay.
Yeah.
I just think that, like...
Don't go on I'm a Celebrity if you want to be famous.
And the reminder is always this. Just because you're popular on YouTube doesn't mean that you're popular in a real life. Yeah. In this real life, like...
No one know you, boo.
No. Even the other people on... And it's not just her. There are other people that people have named on that show. I said, who is that?
Yeah, the only people I recognise... Actually, you know what's quite a few of them I recognise. Jamie Lee Spears, Nigel Farage, the guy from JLS, Sam Thompson, Nella Rose, everyone else, question mark.
The guy from First Date.
Oh yeah, the guy from First Date.
Like, everyone else, I don't know. I couldn't tell you where that person... Yeah. Some of them have faces I recognise.
But names?
But I don't know what they do.
Yeah.
And that is the nature of this show. That person appeals to a very specific demographic. That's why they've got them on there. And they got her because she appeals to the demographic that they want to view the episodes.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
That's it. They didn't get her on there because they wanted to make her a household name. Mm-hmm. They have made her a household name in a name that in a way that she probably didn't want to be. Mm-hmm. So, Nella, you will be fine. You will survive this. Also, let's not act like the media cycle is not fickle and moving constantly. By the time this show even finishes, no one's going to remember that they was going after her that hard.
Yeah, I hope so anyway. But anyway,
this has been Scripts and Giggles.
Wow.
I don't know why you always get to say it.
Go on, say it then.
This has been Scripts.
And that's the reason why you don't get to say it.
You didn't let me finish.
Go on.
And Giggles. The show with the girls and they choose to talk about you.
Oh my gosh.
No, because you actually made me nervous.
Okay, continue.
No, I can't do it now.
Yeah, alright then.
But it was going to actually be incredible. I'm like a very good singer in that.
I'm sure you are, but...
Like, I'm going to go, this has been... Can you not laugh?
Sorry. Close the mic was going to drop. Go on.
This has been Scripts and Giggles for show. No, I'm not doing it anymore because you actually make me feel bad about myself.
I'm so sorry. I should just let you do the original. I'll be honest, I'm not going to sing out the outro, but just so you know, this has been Scripts and Giggles with Shoshana
and Money.
Bye!
Bye!